What up, good people? And welcome to another episode of This Is Dope. It's your man Ahmad here to discuss some of the topics and stories throughout this week in tech that I found interesting. Today should be a relatively short video. Really just have one topic that I want to go over. It's something that's popped up, on YouTube a lot lately in my timelines and the news stories and things of that nature. And I wanted to give my spin on everything. And that's really the 2020 iPad Pro. There's no definite that it's going to be released this year, but thinking is Apple's not going to go 2 years without releasing a new iPad, right? The latest iPad got released in 2018, but because of the design improvements and also because of iPad OS dropping last year, Apple's definitely able to skate by for over a year without an iPad upgrade, and people are just happy, me being one of those people. But the thinking is they're going to drop a 2020 iPad. And really the only rumors that of a significant change are really within the camera, which to me is not really that exciting. There's going to be an obvious spec bump like they always do. It would be great if they gave more storage options. I currently have the 1 terabyte model. 2 terabytes would be great. The ability to put 8 gigs of RAM in there as opposed to the 6 that come with the terabyte model would also be awesome. Other than that, though, I don't know. I take that back. There's one other thing I think they could do this year that would really, really pique my interest. We currently have USB-C on the iPad, just the one singular port. Why not make it equivalent to, at least comparable to MacBooks and give it at least 2 USB-C ports? That would prohibit or enable me, to carry around my iPad without having to carry around a USB hub, a USB-C hub. The hub I have is great, but if you guys have watched my channel before, I'm all about maximizing functionality and minimizing the things that I have to carry. So having those 2 USB-C ports would be great. It would allow me to, A, charge with one, have it plugged in with one, and then B, able to connect my hard drive or whatever other peripheral I was using to the other port without having to carry around a hub. I think that would be a vast improvement. Also, the camera being on the, on the horizontal side, on one of the sides when you have it in landscape mode, as opposed to when you have it in portrait mode. I just think that, it's really easy to cover up that camera where it's currently at. So if they put it on one of the other sides, it would make it much more convenient. Another wish, and I don't know if they're going to do it, is that they start porting some of their pro-level applications to iPad OS and making them available on the iPad Pro, at the very least. And those applications would be Final Cut Pro and Xcode. I think Xcode, I don't know why it's not over here. You have Swift Playgrounds that you have running on the iPad OS, as well as I believe it's available for iOS as well. But it's a development environment. I'm not sure why they haven't ported Xcode over, but it's Apple's own software, so I definitely think it's doable. Final Cut Pro, the same thing. Not sure why they haven't ported it over. There's a big audience there. A lot of people are starting to edit movies on their iPad Pros, edit video on their iPad Pros. Would be a great mobile solution. I think they're missing out on this market. LumaFusion right now obviously is the leader. They're the ones who kind of saw the potential and are running away with it, which is kind of crazy because Apple has software that they could port over. I'm not going to say easily port over to their device that would get them back a lot of that market share that LumaFusion has taken. Other than those software updates, Apple's always working in the background with other developers and other software companies and things like that. So I would like to see them, partner with those companies to also bring about quicker development of those desktop class apps. Like, I would like to have seen them, and I don't know what the interaction was, but I would like to have seen them partner a little tighter with Adobe on their Photoshop for iPad app. The app has a lot of potential. Adobe's definitely working hard to make it, to fill in the gaps. But I feel that there wasn't a really tight communication there with Apple, and and them developing it for the iPad Pro and iPad OS. And that's the reason for the significant delay in the software being released. And then when it was finally released, it lacked a lot of features. It felt like it was released because they promised it in 2019, and they were only running. They only had a couple weeks left, so they had to do something in order to hold up to their promise. So I would like to see Apple with tighter integration with companies like Adobe, probably a Microsoft too, even though they have Word and things like that. There's a lot of other productivity apps that they have that don't really port over well, I would say. I would also like to see, work with other, just really other large software vendors that function in the productivity space. And I think that would definitely help turn the iPad Pro into much more of a productivity device, because I think that's what a lot of people are getting iPad Pros for. It's not just to watch Netflix and, stream music and so forth and so on. It's to really be a productivity device. That's what I use it for. I use it for about 95% of the things I do. I only have to break out a laptop on certain things that I can't do on my iPad, like, the ability to, have command line functionality on the iPad is lacking, which I don't fault it. I could just use one of the SSH clients and SSH to a remote machine if I need to. However, there's certain things I do wish that I could do that I just simply can't. But there are a lot of things that I can do, and I think that's the iPad Pro's real sweet spot and real future, right? It's going to, the more and more capable it gets, the more and more the applications that are available for it become more capable, then the greater and greater appeal it will have, and will only continue to grow, right? I think if Apple truly has this vision of the post-PC era, as it stated, I don't know, a year, 2 years ago, they're going to have to continue to aggressively develop and aggressively partner with other software vendors in order to make this happen. But that's my 2 cents on that. I also wanted to give you guys a quick, added little story. I didn't really want to talk about it, but because I didn't really have time to get in depth in it, but I wanted to make you guys aware. If you're running Windows 10 now and you haven't upgraded to the latest Microsoft patch, stop watching this video. Do it now. There is a big security hole in Windows 10, and this is not to bash Microsoft or Windows at all. I think Windows has a lot of vulnerabilities because Microsoft and Windows is still at the top of the operating system game, and the bigger you are, the more attention you get, and I think hackers just focus more attention on them. But with that being said, there's a big bug and a big security flaw in Windows 10 that could potentially have you out here looking really, really bad. I won't get into the nerdy details on it, but the latest update that Microsoft released, definitely go and install that update. It's needed to keep you safe. Also, in that same vein, Firefox as well, they came out with a patch not too long ago for a major vulnerability they had. That's just a little tidbit, wasn't the main focus of this video, but I had to throw that in. Go update, people. Keep yourself safe. And that's really it. Hopefully you guys found this video entertaining, informative, helpful, something positive. And if you did, go ahead and mash that like button down below. If you like the channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Leave a comment, some feedback, have something you want me to speak about, a story, a topic, a product, anything in general, just leave that in the comment section below. Your comments and feedback are definitely welcome. Thank you to everyone who subscribes. Thank you to everyone who watches the videos. With that, I'm done. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm out.